So welcome to Lausanne, in Switzerland.
Little fire duct here.
So this will be the first time I dive from a plane. So I try to not to say too many mistakes while I try to keep my plane in flight.
We're all rooting for you.
Yeah. You're right. And then there's always the Y key.
So this is Lausanne. This is the city I have passed most of my life.
Oh, okay.
And so I know the area very well.
Yeah. Beautiful here.
Well, thanks for showing us around.
Nice flying Tango.
Thank you. You're having fun here.
So is everybody ready to take off?
Oh,
as soon as I land, yeah. I'm on my way.
Okay, so let's take flight. So we are in Lausanne, which is the capital of the canton de Vaud. And in front of us we have the Lake Geneva, or Lac Léman, Lake Léman, as we call it here. And on the other side of the lake is France, actually. And our first stop is going to be the EPFL, which is a kind of MIT for Switzerland, of Silicon Valley. And there is the University of Lausanne too. And there, I go there because there is a very strange building, which is called the Rolex Learning Center, which is the library and where the students can do their stuff. And it was designed by the Japanese architect. You will see it has a really strange shape, like a piece of Swiss cheese. So we are now entering the campus of university. All this building, and here in front of me, maybe I'm too far ahead. I'll circle above the waypoint. You will see it's really like a piece of cheese with holes.
Okay.
And inside, and you see the building is not flat, and some parts are actually very steep, and you can't put a chair there. So the students are lying down on the slopes to rest. Very strange building. Interesting to go inside. And now we will go back to Lausanne. For the second waypoint, I put the waypoint in the old town. Lausanne was actually has begun like as a village by the lake. Then there was a town, the Roman town. You can still see the ruins by the lake, but in the Middle Age, it was not so safe to be so low. So they moved to a series of hills, and there is a castle, there is a cathedral, and if you install the scenery, you'll see everything.
Anyone else seen these like glitches in the photogrammetry, like these flashes?
I thought that was just me.
No, unfortunately, I've seen this
we have noticed
a lot recently on downloaded photogrammetry, but only sometimes, like only for certain sceneries.
So here we are in the old town. You see there is a hill with a castle on the left and the cathedral on the right, and all the medieval city was here. And there was also one of the oldest university. The large building was a university already installed during the Middle Age. And now this is where the government of Canton Vaud and Lausanne are installed. And now we are going to move along the lake. This is a landscape that has been protected by the World Heritage UNESCO. Don't know if UNESCO is the right name in English. Maybe it's a French acronym.
No, we use it as well.
Okay. So it's mainly vineyards, huge vineyards, which is on slope facing the lake. And so the people there say there is three suns. There is the sun in the sky, the sun reflecting in the lake and hitting the vineyard again, and also the sun getting the walls behind the vineyards, and so the vineyards are heated by 3 suns. And now we can't build anything inside the vineyard, so it will remain like this. Mostly vineyard with a very small village. You can go by car in those villages, and it's very, very narrow. We fly a little bit lower. It starts here. We call it Lavo. And you can also, there are some streets, some roads for cars, but also small ones are only for, I don't know how to call them, people who farm the vineyards. But you can also go there by foot, and it's a very beautiful place to walk through.
It is beautiful.
Some of the buildings are strange, a little too big, but most of them are correct. Most of the house are only 1 or 2 floors. So if you see a huge building, it's not correct, but the small ones are good.
Anyone else getting that dust effect on the ground? Everywhere CptNautilis is flying, I get some dust in front of me.
I'm transporting some flour.
Maybe you just have to dust your plane once in a while.
Yes. I can't remember the last time I did it. So here it's very steep, as you can see. And by the lake there is a train railway. It's a beautiful trip by train because you are by the lake, and there are a few beaches. So you can also stop and take a dip in the lake.
It'll be cold.
Did you say this was Lake Geneva?
Yes, Lake Geneva, yes. And you are arriving in Vevey, which is the town where Nestlé has its mother headquarters, world headquarters. Actually, the Nestlé was founded here. And a lot of people in the region are working there. And a lot of the things, we will see several things that are linked to Nestlé during this trip. When they made the chocolate, they needed power and water, and they changed the landscape around for that. So we are arriving, I'm arriving, maybe too fast. I'm going to circle above the Vevey, the Nestlé headquarters. We'll see it's a kind of building like a double Y by the lake. This is I'm living close to here, on the in the back country of Vevey.
You better land there. You fire up the barbecue.
This is where we leave the Lavo, the UNESCO heritage place. and we'll continue towards the next point, which is a castle, the castle of Chillon, which is a castle that was built on a rock in the lake, just by the rivage, by the you'll see it's quite an impressive building. So the large valley we see at 2 o'clock, there is a large valley, which is the valley of the Rhône. The Rhône takes its spring in Switzerland, and then it goes through the lake and southward toward the Mediterranean, through France.
Does it go to Paris, to Paris as well, or is it only
No,
the
it goes
Rhine?
to Lyon, and
Lyon.
then Marseille.
Oh, Marseille. Okay, yeah.
We are arriving in Montreux, where there is a famous jazz festival. Also in the there, I forgot to tell, there was Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin ended the second part of his life was passed there. You can
He
visit
was in Montreux.
now in Montreux here. Yeah. And we can see the castle by the lake, the big building in the lake. I'm going to circle it. So there are actually two forts. There is the medieval castle, and there was also a Second World War fort, but this one is invisible. Even if you go by car, it's hard to notice because it's hidden inside the cliff. So I'm going to circle this castle. You can visit this castle. It's a very great visit. I've been there very often. And you see there is a road, the castle, there is a road, and there is a cliff just behind the road. And in this cliff, from the lake to the highway above, there is a huge fort underground with various places where we can fire on the enemy who would like to because this is the only place where an enemy could pass. There is a mountain, there is a lake, and that's why there is a castle and when there is a fort to defend this place. And now we'll continue. Am I going too fast?
Oh, no.
Nope.
No, that's fine.
You see on the right there is at 3 o'clock there is a forest. It's a natural area. That's where the Rhône river enters the lake, and it's protected area. There is a lot of hang gliders here. All this
Oh,
field
yeah.
you can land in. You take off
Yeah.
from the mountains and you land in some of those fields. It's beautiful. Yes, I made one.
Yeah,
It
perfect
was
spot for
really,
gliding, eh?
yes.
Hills and mountains. Nice big flat areas to land on.
It's really
Hey,
beautiful.
and bridges. You.
I don't know why I'm so slow. Usually it goes faster. And now we are fully in Switzerland. The mountain left and right are Switzerland, and there are a lot of ski resorts here, everywhere actually.
So is this area normally covered in snow in winter?
No, it's a little bit low, so you can have snow, but not every time. But in the mountain, yes. I posted a picture I took today, and you can see the snow is now about mid height in the mountain. We are in a city and town called Aigle, which means eagle, eagle in French, and there is a castle, but it's not modeled. There is something if you go over it, you can see the building has a strange shape, but you can see it as a castle. I'm just passing behind this hill. As you can see, there is a lot of vineyards too here. We'll go behind the hill too. All these places were actually sculpted by a huge glacier. It left some bigger hills, and here, just on my left, there is a big salt mine, which is producing all the salt for Switzerland. We don't need to import or export salt. Everything comes from here. And we are going around the hill and land in this airport, an airstrip actually, where you can do some gliding. It's
I'm over the salt mines here. Yeah.
So we are going to follow south the river, and just when we arrive at the highway, we turn right, and we will be ready for the final. This town is called B-E-X.
Okay.
We don't pronounce the X.
Oh, B. Okay.
There is a yellow house on the right, and you strip. There is a little bit of harder concrete, and then it's just grass. We'll wait a little bit here so that everybody can regroup. So next,
That doesn't sound good.
our next spot is going to be very high because we have to go across the mountain. It's at almost 7,000 feet. So we'll make a few zigzags to climb there. It's the mountain to our 2 o'clock. Someone landing, yes.
Parts coming in.
Yep. Well,
Yes.
So behind us there is a Canton du Valais. We are not going there today. So we are staying in Canton Vaud. We go back. We go north now.
Black Wings ready for the race. Here comes Bart.
Samoa is here.
Oh,
With the touch and go. Everybody is on the ground, I guess. So we can take flight. So we'll climb along a valley. they changed something to the X-Cup during this update because it can't. I don't have a lot of power. Usually I can climb this very easily, but
Oh,
It will take some time.
I'll go by egg again because I can't. Normally I can go straight here, but today I don't know, they changed something.
Pick the Red Bull Cup. It has NOS, no to oxygen,
yeah.
extra power.
Instant fire.
For the Kit Fox, of course.
So we have ski resort left and right and front and behind too. There is a train going here actually. On the left of the valley there is the road for the cars, and on the right, hidden in the trees, is the railway. You can go all the way to the ski station by train. This is one of the oldest tourist area in Switzerland. English people or people of the whole world came here to breathe the mountain air, and they didn't ski, but they need that for tuberculosis. So you have a lot of hotels that will be built for that.
I bet the air is good here.
Expensive though, probably. Everything's expensive in Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
When I went to Japan, it was so much cheaper.
That's really
Partly because of the
Yeah.
belly
Try
peak, yeah.
Malaysia.
But yeah, the scenery is amazing around here. Really nice.
Indeed.
It's such a hard time climbing today. They changed something. This is all a station here, Les Uns. You can see the cable car. There is on the top, where is Sobo 7, there is a restaurant which is rotating in one turn per hour, so you can eat and your table turn.
Okay.
You can see the landscape from all around. And the goal, if I can climb, because I'm a lot of problem today, is to pass between the two towers, two mountains.
There's a nice little gap there.
Yeah.
It's a squawker-sized gap.
Let's do this and further.
So you can see these mountains are quite not too steep from this side. You can go by foot. You see there is a trail on the top of the two mountains, but on the other side there are cliffs, vertical cliffs, and that the side you see from Lausanne, from Vevey, and it's why we call them the Tower of Eye. And when you see them from the lake, you see it's impossible to climb there, but actually it's easy if you go from the right side. Yeah. And now we enter a military area. This valley here, you can't go unless you are a military soldier for training. So there are codes, of course, but all these roads are actually for military training. And the lake at the bottom of the valley is an artificial lake. We'll see the dam, and this dam was built to make electricity for Vevey and Nestlé chocolate factory. So you can go fly now over the dam. It's a strange dam made in like a tree. It has two arches. So you can go by foot on the left side of the lake, or beyond the dam, but not on the right, because it's all military. In the winter now, you see there is a lot of fields with small house. That's for the cows. All the region is full of cows, and we use the milk to make the cheese, the Swiss cheese, the Gruyère. We call it Gruyère. That's where we are going now. And again, usually I go straight, but today I have to make circle to climb. I should have taken. I've made this trip 2 or 3 times for my preparation, and they made the update, and I think they changed something. And once we go over the ridge, we can go low again because we are going to make some bank and yank down the canyon.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yes, now we enter the Gruyère Valley, and all the milk is, all the cows make milk for the factory, which we will see in a few moments. So the river here is called the Sarine. And we follow the Sarine for some time now. We land somewhere, but we follow the Sarine for a moment. The Sarine is, at some point, it is separating the French-speaking part of Switzerland from the German part. Not here. Here is the mountain, but soon after it separates. When it's big and bigger, you have France on the left and German on the right. So that's why we follow it, because I don't want to enter the German part. Not today. As you can
Hey, I have a
hear,
question. I did not know this, and I just realized that I didn't know it. I knew there were three sections of Switzerland. There's the Italian, there's the German, and the French. Are they separate sections government-wise, or are they just cultural and linguistic differences?
Mostly it's cultural things. They are Switzerland is a bit like the United States of America, with very autonomous states. So each state is independent, almost independent. Really like in the USA. And most of these cantons or states are either French or German or Italian. But some, like here we are now in the canton de Freiburg. This is one of the cantons who has two languages, French and German.
And how many cantons are there in total?
23.
Wow, some of them must be really small.
But you got a good democratic system.
You know,
And,
I lived in California for 1 year, and I realized that California, you can put 7 times Switzerland in California.
Oh yeah.
So it's small.
Beautiful.
And still we speak several languages, and there is 23 cantons.
I take it most people living in this area we're flying over now will speak both German and French.
Here this is French, really French, because here
Yeah, but they don't understand German. You know, you can't speak German to these people.
everybody learn Swiss and French and German at school. So
Okay. So well, that was my question. Yeah.
Yes, but the boundary between the language here are the mountain on the right. Here the river is too small to make a real cultural.
Do the canton or the states, do they tend to be clustered by language together, or could it be that there's one that's surrounded, like one German one that's surrounded by 5 French-speaking ones?
No, the western part of Switzerland is French, and eastern is German, and there is one canton on the southern part of the Alps, which is Italian.
Okay.
So it's really, this is the boundary that goes back to. Be careful here. We are next to a military place where they train to air defense here.
Yeah, they were shooting at me.
So
Stay
they
above
train on
100.
drones. So be careful. Yes, it's all historical. It goes back to the barbarians during the Roman Empire. Some barbarians were the Burgonde. They gave the French part, and the Aleman gave the German part. So now we are heading toward Gruyère, the village of Gruyère. There is a castle there. It's a beautiful village. There is a medieval village on top of a hill, where the waypoint here. And at the bottom of this hill, there is a modern village here. The castle again is not modeled, but you can see that the building has a very strange shape with a big tower. I'm almost on it now. It's a nice place to visit. Here on top of the hill. And there is also a museum by Giger, the guy who made Alien, who made the drawing for the Alien movies. He was Swiss and he had a museum here. And here behind the hill, where I am now, is the modern village, and the big building in the center, the flat building, here is a factory. So the cheese factory. But I see you are all already landed, so I'm joining you.
You're picking up cheese supplies.
Yes.
Cheese and chocolates. The song Smoke on the Water, not created at Geneva Lake.
Yes, at Montreux actually.
Yeah.
At Montreux. There was a fire, I think. Maybe the casino was on fire or something.
Casino burned up. Nice fireworks and smoke on the water.
So I think I was the last, so we can take off directly.
Okay.
And we are going to follow the Sarine River towards the north. Let's go on the right here. If you follow me on the right here, there is a huge building here. It's also a chocolate factory, one of the first. And there was a dam for this factory too. And now there is it's still a factory, but there is also a museum.
Make Toblerone, eh?
No, Toblerone is no longer made in Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, since this year or last year. And they have lost the right to put the Matterhorn.
Oh yeah.
The chocolate, because it's now done in Slovakia.
So where are they making it now?
I think it's Slovakia or something like this.
Okay.
Eastern Europe.
So, what is the best Swiss chocolate brand now?
My favorite is one we can only find here in a supermarket. Actually, it's called Frais, and it's such a big variety, but you can only buy it here. So this is again artificial lake. We'll see the dam, and this lake every year or every 2 years they empty it, and you can see the river where it was before. And in the Middle Age there was a village there, which is now underwater. And the only thing that you can see now is an island with 2 towers, because this was a small, it's a small island, but there was 2 castles on it, and 2 families which were rivals. They could see each other from their tower. I've put the waypoint on it, but in the flight simulator you can only see a few strange houses. The towers are not here. But it's interesting to go there. Usually you can only go there by boat, but once a year you can go by foot. By the way, I put a number next to each waypoint. That's the advised altitude in feet I propose. To help you plan your trip. So under the water there were villages, there is forest, and now when it's dry you can see the tree stumps and the foundations of the houses. Here the biggest island with some vegetation on it is the Ile Dogo, with the twin towers. Let's continue along the lake. We'll soon arrive by the dam, and then we can do some bank and yank along the river until the next airstrip. This is where the river begins to divide the French from the German. If you have a map, you can see that the villages have a French name on the left and a German name on the right. Because here the river is deep and wide, so which was a real barrier for people, and so they stopped. At some point there will be a bridge. We can go below a high bridge. We can go below the bridge, and just after the bridge we get out of the canyon to land on the next trip.
bridge!
Yeah, the bridge. So you go under and then you climb a little bit because the airstrip is just over the cliff on the other side.
Power lines too. We just about got caught.
No, I clicked one earlier, thank God for sleep mode. Oh, I see somebody.
So we can make our middle stop here. I suggest we come back at the hour in 5 minutes. We will take off from the other direction from runway 10, so we can continue along the river. Okay. Is everybody ready?
You betcha.
Okay, so we'll take off from runway 10. So we can continue the Yank bank, but I think we are a bit behind schedule. So as for me, I'm going to go straight to the next point. But if you have a fastest plane, you can follow the river. It's quite interesting to fly low.
I'll definitely have to come back.
We are now going to the town of Fribourg, which is the capital of the canton de Fribourg, which is also an old town, very interesting to visit. It's built in a meander of the Sarine, so the river make a big loop, and they build the city inside the loop. So they had only a small wall to build, and all the three other sides of the town were protected by the river. And it's there. The town is in front, so here I'm going to go down in the river and fly by the town.
Couldn't resist, eh? There is a huge cathedral in Fribourg. And there is an old roofed bridge from the Middle Age, just at the tip of the loop. But I don't think we can go under it. It's really low. But then there is a big train bridge, which we can go under. The old town of Fribourg here. You see all the houses are very close together. And here we live. This is the
Fribourg is on the French part, and on the side they really speak German. You cross the river, and people speak German. There is another bridge to pass under. It's a highway bridge, and just on the right side of the river, just after the bridge, there is a cliff. In this cliff, there is a monastery, or there was a monastery, which was dug in the cliff, inside the cliff. Now it's we can visit it, but for 1 century there was monks living there, building churches inside the cliff. It's a nice place, not very well known. You see the big bridge, the modern bridge. Yeah. And on the right side there is this cliff, and that's where the monastery is, but we can't see it. Bronco zooming by. And that's where we leave the Sarine River, and we go to the lake of Mora, Murtensee. This region here is called the Three Lake region, for an obvious reason. It used to be swamps. It has a very bad reputation because it was a lot of mosquitoes, of diseases, and at the end of the 19th century, they built dams on the river, and they managed. Oh, did I crash? No. And they managed to control the level of the water, and they made all this area became a huge farming area, and the swamps moved by the border of the lakes, which are now protected natural area. So this is all place where you have corn and wheat and all kind of farmland. And we go at Mora. The next waypoint is Mora. It's an old town too, from the Middle Age, and it is famous for a battle. During the Middle Age, at the end of the Middle Age, there was a powerful duke in France, which was called Charles le Téméraire, Charles the Restless, the Duke of Burgundy, and he tried to invade Switzerland. He was the most powerful people in Europe. He wasn't the first to have cannon guns in his army. He was one of the richest, and he had 3 battles, and he was defeated in each of them. And one of them was here. It was in Mora. It was actually a siege. And from the sky there is not much to see, but if you visit by foot, you can see there are still the walls can still be seen. And from the sky you will see some strange building here in front of me. You'll see the building, it's actually the walls of the city. Yeah. And we cross the lake of Mora. You can see a hill in front of us. This hill was famous during the Celtic period. So before the Romans came here, there was a big oppidum here at the top of this hill. And yeah, it was famous at this period. We'll just fly by. There is nothing to see actually. Even by foot, there are a few signs. But it's all archaeologic data. We are now in the canton of Bern. Bern is a canton that speak German at 90%. And the 10% who speak French are not very happy. And this area is actually a patchwork. It's really complicated geography here because you have Vaud, Fribourg, and Bern like a puzzle. So I can't be sure here if you are in which canton we are because it's very complicated. But we are going to cross the next lake, which is the lake of Neuchâtel. And we go in the town, over the town of Neuchâtel, and there is an airstrip next to it. All these lakes are now linked by channels, part of the system to regulate the level of water. Under us now there is a big swamp full of weeds. It's famous for birds. All the birds who migrate north and south in Europe stop here, stop in this huge area. All along the lake there is these swamps, and all the birds land there to rest for a few days before they continue. Can you see on the other side of the lake there is the mountain? We were in the Alps, and now we reach the mountains ridge, which is called the Jura Mountains. And in the Jura you see a big opening at 11 o'clock. This is the Val de Travers. We'll go there afterwards. We follow this canyon. It's one of the entries, one of the entrance in Switzerland. Switzerland is surrounded by mountains, and there are only a few gates. That's one of them. There is one in Geneva.
It's a big lake.
Neuchâtel is another canton where they speak French. It's a canton where they made clocks, famous Swiss clocks. Came a lot from this place, this canton. We'll just go over the town. So there is a castle too here, and a church, a big church. We are over the old town. Nice little town. And there is an airstrip by the lake, and we'll stop here just to regroup. So we are going, once everybody is here, we are going to take off, and we are going to enter the canyon at 2 o'clock, which is called the Canyon of Arreuse, Gorge d'Arreuse. And you'll see one of the secrets of Switzerland, place a bit like the Grand Canyon, but not so famous, but still very impressive. It's famous in Switzerland, but not so much among foreigners. We have someone arriving.
I'm just up here circling. You guys can take off whenever.
Okay. So we continue on the same same direction. 23. Let's go. So we enter this big valley.
Oops.
This is a great place to go by foot. Impressive cliffs, and there is a trail going all the way along the canyon, and we reach the Creux du Vent at the end, which is a beautiful place. So if you have a powerful plane. You can bank and yank along the river. As for me, I'm going to climb slowly to reach the next waypoint. We are still in Switzerland, all the way. We will see where it is. Here we are still in Switzerland. There are several ridges of mountains before we are in France. But you see, at 12 o'clock there is a big cliff. It's not really obvious from here. It's a semicircle of cliffs called the Creux du Vent, which is a hole, means a hole in the stone, the hole in the boulder. It's a very unique place in Switzerland. It's also a protected area, and there is a colony of ibex there. If you go there, you will see them because there are so many of them. So those who are in the valley, it's time to climb. They go on 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock to the waypoint called, I call it CRX Van, Creux du Vent. And we can make a few circles there. And you can walk there. There is at the bottom of the cliff there is a cabin where you can sleep, and you can make that like in 2 days. You walk along the canyon one day, you sleep in the cabin, and then you climb on the top of the cliff. So it's just a normal trail. It's steep, but not. Don't need special things to climb it. You can also climb along this ridge. You see there is a ridge on the northern side of the Creux. There is a very narrow trail along the ridge. It's very impressive. And once you are on top of the cliff, you can see there is a line, a white line following the cliff. It's actually a wall made of stones, and it's against the cows because there are cows, so they don't fall in the cliff. And the trail itself for the human is between the cliffs and the wall, so you are really by the cliff. It's a really beautiful place to visit. From there, we go back toward the lake. The next waypoint is called, I put a French word, bataille, which means battle. This is another battle of the Duke of Burgundy, Charles the Restless. It is called the Bataille de Grandson. So from the sky we can understand a little bit of this battle. The Duke of Burgundy was coming from the south, from Yverdon, from the end of the lake. He made his camp in Grandson, a castle by the lake, and he put his troops across the plain. And the Swiss came from the north, where we are coming from the Swiss side of the battle. There were some troops already there, but the troops arrived late and they were hidden in those forests, like where Spoker is now. And suddenly they came out of the forest, and the Duke saw all this. He wanted to make a trick, pretend to retreat or to reorganize, but his troop was mercenaries and they didn't speak all the same languages, and they didn't understand, and they began to flee, and it was a big defeat for him. He lost all his guns, all his gold, because he had to flee, and his tent was left behind with his chest full of gold. So the battle was about where the waypoint is. Of course, it was a huge battle, so it took a lot of place, but it was around here. In this area also, there is several standing stones, like in Brittany, many, but not big lines of them, just isolate stones. So we are on the field of the battle, and the next point is Grandson, which is a castle where that gave the name to the battle. Again, we can see the castle, but because it has a strange shape. And the next stop is Yverdon, at the end of the lake. There is a strip there, and actually the only place where I flew for real in a glider. I took a few lessons of gliding, and this was the airstrip where we took off and landed.
Well, it'd be a different critter, wouldn't it, gliding?
It's cool for gliding because you have all these ridges, and often there is a wind going perpendicular to it, and you can fly for hours just going back and forth along the ridges. So I'm now arriving next to the castle. Yes, here you can see the photo from the sky. It's just by the railway, and now we are going to land. So in real life, the plane with an engine like us cannot fly over the town. They have to land from the south, but the gliders have the right. So only gliders can go over the town. The strip is easiest to spot because there is this river, a channel next to it. will take off in the same direction and move back in the Jura Mountains. So the gliders land in the grass on our left, and the plane land on the concrete. Are we ready to take off?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. We are back in the canton de Vaud. Yverdon is the second biggest town of the canton de Vaud. And we are going to move up the Valais again, which is another entrance into Switzerland. You see the gap in the mountains over there. This is farmland country again. So see how black the ground is. It's because there was swampy here too. It's a very swampy area until they lowered the level of water. There is a small town at 10 o'clock, which was also, there was a Roman town there. There is a big place here you can visit with mosaics. And there is a canyon. You can see starting from the town. You can go back and yank there. We follow it up to the next waypoint. So this was an entrance in Switzerland. So there was a fort defended, which can be visited too. It's a little bit like the one in Chillon Castle. It's the waypoint called Fort 3100. You'll see there are some cabin, small cabin, wooden cabin, but actually they are empty. Or actually, under there is a bunker, and underneath there are a lot of underground tunnels with guns from the World War II, and they are defending the entry into Switzerland. This can be visited too. This river we are visiting, following now, is called the Orbe, and we are going to find it's spring. It's a very, very special spring, as you will see.
special spring.
Yes. Usually rivers, they are very small and they become bigger and bigger. This one is, it gets out of the mountain already big, as big as now. We call this a Vauclusian spring. I don't know in French, in English how it's called.
Oh, spring. I thought you said spring. Spring water.
Water, yes.
Ah.
And the river, there is a cliff, and the river comes out of the cliff, as big as it is now. And there is a huge cavern behind. Some of it can be visited. And I tell more about it when we reach that point. First, if you follow, I made a kind of strange step in the trajectory going to Fort. If you go to the waypoint Fort, you'll see a few cabins, and you can imagine that it's underneath there is a complex of tunnels and rooms and things for soldiers. And you see in front of the fort there is a big valley that leads straight to. Actually, it's already France. The valley itself is what we see is France. So if the French wanted to invade us, we can gun them here. And now we come back to the river, and we follow it, and you try to find where it get out of the cliff. I call the point spring. This city here, this town, was famous for the iron mines, and they were doing all the industry of iron here. So the river, and suddenly it stops in the cliffs. Of course, the river was used for mills when they were working iron. Now you see these tubes are for making electric power. Here, the river can be seen in the forest, and suddenly there is a cliff, and the river get out of it. And actually, on the other side, we begin to see them. There are two big lakes, and those lakes don't have an exit. There is no river getting out of them, because actually the water is seeping downward through the mountains and is funneled into the river that get out of the cliff over there. So that's the mystery of this river. It's a big funnel here. The lake are a big funnel, vertical, and the river goes there. And they made experiment, and the water takes 1 week to go from the lake to the spring. And those lakes are very high, and usually every winter they are covered in ice. You can go skate on them. You can cross from one end to the other on the ice. But lately, with the global warming, it's not always sure you are going to see it iced. So we are in the Jura, following the ridge of the Jura. In winter, you can make some ski cross-country ski. We are going to land in a field. This is the only landing spot without an airstrip. So there is a field reasonably flat on the other side of the village. This area was devoted to clock making. A lot of people still now, there are several of the villages are famous for their clock making factories. People were doing that, you know, in summer people were farming, and in winter they were contributing to the clock making by making small pieces, putting together small pieces by hand. And all the houses here have big windows at the bottom, and near the roof there are small windows to let in light, so they could see what they were doing. So we can prepare for landing. So there is a swamp, then there is some trees. We cross the village, and the field is on the other side. You can land wherever you want, next to the waypoint. Okay, I'm going to climb a little bit to take advantage of the slope to take off. And I think everybody is down, so we can go. Let's take off. Oh, there was still someone landing.
Oh, that's okay, just follow me out.
So we follow this valley a little bit. You can see that here the river is not channeled, so the river is making big flat loops. We follow it a little bit. We'll cross into France at some point. I will tell you when it is. And when we reach the lake, the next lake, we'll go over the mountain again. This area here is full of bogs. All the area next to the river is bogs and peat used to heat the. You know, you can dry it and burn it to heat your house. There are carnivorous plants and all kind of special fauna. We are still in Switzerland. There is no obvious point where you enter France, just looking at the map. Almost there. So Switzerland is a small country. We are quick to get out of it. We have this military plane like F-18, and in 5 minutes they are they can cross the country from north to south. So they have to be careful. They can't really fly full speed. So now here we enter Switzerland, France. Pardon. We leave Switzerland and we enter France. Yes, we can see we are in front because you see there is a big cell here, a big where some picture comes from France and some picture comes from Switzerland, and this is the border. I mean, our yellow picture made for scenery. So it will time to climb again. Because we are going to go to one of the highest peak of the Jura Mountains. (5,800 feet). At the top of the mountain, you will see huge antennas and a huge globe. And on the left, you can see the Lake Geneva, where we start this trip. Lausanne is in south from us. So I see this big globe. I don't know which mod gave that. Maybe it's I love VFR. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
So it's a meteorological station for the Geneva airport. Geneva airport is one of the two biggest airports of Switzerland. There is one in Geneva and one in Zurich at the other side of the country. And this is an important point for the airport and for weather forecast. And from here we go to Geneva. The waypoint is called CERN, CERN. This is one of the biggest particle accelerators. It's underground, so we can't see it from the top, but you can see the building, the Soviet style building of the place. It's a huge international research area in particle physics, and we can see a bit from the sky. The accelerator itself is a huge circle underground, and you can only visit it when there is no experience running. So it's not really often, but it's impressive. It's really huge. It's so huge that when you are inside, you don't see it's turning. It's a big circle, but it's too large to be really seen as a circle. And then we land in France in a smaller airstrip in Annemasse. So you see the Lake of Geneva on the left is narrow here. It has two parts, a big part and a narrow part. And actually the Lake of Geneva is only this small part. And the big one, the big lake, is called Lake Léman. Geneva is an international airport, so you can go everywhere in the world from here. And Geneva there are a lot of international organizations in Geneva. So that's why there is this airport. Actually, there was a question about where the airport will be built. It was either Geneva or Lausanne. And finally, it was Geneva, and the area that was reserved for the airport, there was a big area, and they used it to make the university and the EPFL, so it became the Silicon Valley of Switzerland.
Silicon Valley.
So I put the waypoint straight in the middle of the CERN. So when you go there, it's really ugly. It really looks like a Sovietic town. It's full of laboratories and yes, all kind of experiments. But it's still interesting to visit if you have the occasion. And the accelerator itself is crossing France and Switzerland. It's a huge circle in this area. One of the experiments is here, and you have 4 more all along the circle. Here, this building are part of the facility. And from here, we are going to cross Geneva. I put the waypoint Geneva in the old town of Geneva. One of the sky mark of Geneva is how do you call it? Big stream of water. But it's not modeled unless you have a mod. So we can't see. This is the airport which we are crossing now. And the river we can see here is the Rhône. This is where we saw it entering in the lake next to the Chillon Castle, and here it is exiting and going into France toward Lyon and Marseille. So again here Geneva was built in between 2 rivers, the old town. So there is the Rhône on one side and the Arve on the other side. And the Romans built a bridge, a big bridge in stone. And when the Helvetians wanted to leave the country to invade France, the Romans destroyed the bridge to block them, and so they had to go through the Jura mountain a bit, where we passed near Valorbe. So the old town is here. You can see the church and the old houses. This place looks empty. Actually, it's a port. It's full of boats. Not these big boats which you see here, but small sailing boats. We can get them here. But now we are going to France, and we are going to land for the final destination in Annemasse. So Geneva is a canton also, small canton, which is almost only one big town, one of the second biggest town in Switzerland. And it's surrounded by France on three sides. So they are more French than Swiss. This is a big strip in hard concrete strip, easy to land. So despite my slow flying plane, we made it almost in time.
Oh no, somebody crashed.
Almost made it all the way.
I've sent the chat.
Yeah, it was great, really beautiful. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks for coming for this small tower of Western Switzerland.
Really beautiful country.
Really entertaining, thank you very much.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was a really good flight, Captain.
Thanks.
Definitely.
Okay. See you next time. Everybody
See
here.
ya.
Oh, there are still people landing over there.